What is up, everybody? Nilo of the Moral Pack here.
And Chris of the Moral Pack here.
And today Chris has a story for us, and I'm really excited to hear it. Isn't that right?
I guess so. I don't know. This just kind of sprung up on me. But alright.
Alright, let's go. So what happened?
Okay, so basically I decided to go to the open house for my middle school that I had previously gone to when I was a middle schooler. And, you know, I'm just meeting my teachers and everything, saying hello. And then I go to my computer applications class that I used to be in, where I learned like iMovie and stuff, and that's kind of where my inspiration to do video stuff really started, like the very early roots of it. And I was talking with my teacher for a little bit, and then he was talking to people after he was done with me that were like actually in his class.
Okay.
And the kid and his dad come to the teacher, and he's like, "Oh, hi, my name is Chris." And then I was like, like, it was like, "Oh, you know my son Chris," or something like that. And then he's like, "Oh, and what's your name?" Like, "My name is also Chris." And that was the dad talking, and I was like, well, his name is Chris, and his dad's name is Chris, and my name is Chris, and my dad's name is Chris.
This is kind of weird.
This is interesting. So I started to kind of, you know, just like casually like listen to what they were talking about, and
not weird or
not
anything.
weird or anything. I was just kind of, you know, sticking my ear in front of their faces. I went like this.
All right.
And yeah, exactly like
not
that.
drawing any attention to yourself, obviously.
Nope. A couple people looked, but I mean, it was just because I'm famous.
Yeah. All right. Continue.
Okay, so then my teacher, he's like talking with them about stuff, and I was just kind of listening, waiting for another reoccurrence of the same names. And then all of a sudden, he's like, "Did you know your son's a pretty good filmmaker?" or something like that. And then I was like, "Okay, so he has the same name as me, and he stole my hobby. What is this?"
All right.
And
so,
then
getting a little bit weirder.
They were talking, and then all of a sudden he was like, yeah, we got him all set up. His dad was like, "Yeah, we got him set up with Final Cut Pro, and he's been doing all sorts of these projects with his DSLR camera." And I'm like, "I use Final Cut Pro, and I have a DSLR camera."
All right. So
and then at that point, I just
weird.
kind of walked into like the triangle of conversation, which now became a square. I kind of started butting myself in, and I was becoming more involved. And they didn't really take too much notice to me. Like, it was just kind of seemed like natural that, oh, this kid's a part of the conversation now.
All right.
So I started listening to what they were saying, and they were just kind of going for a while, and then they kind of broke apart, and then him and his son went off, and they were looking at other things in the classroom. And I think they were like asking the teacher about like ways that his son could better learn Final Cut. And then I went up to him and I was like, "Yeah, you know what would be really cool is that they actually have like YouTube videos and stuff for all different like people with different skill levels and whatnot." So we were talking about that kind of thing, and then he told me he also has a YouTube channel. Unfortunately, I do not remember what it is, but
So it couldn't have been that memorable of a name.
no, well, the actual scenario was just kind of shocking to me. And I think I was trying to
his
like...
name was Chris. He was also into video production, uses the same software and equipment as you do. He also has a YouTube channel.
We got same name, hobbies, and interests. And like it's all like in the like same classroom that I was in not 2 years before, and it was so.
Is there more?
Well, yeah. I mean, that was pretty much the gist of it. But I mean, there were a couple of funny moments. So I mean, I was talking to him for a while, and because I had already known that their names were like that, so I kind of was not really egging that part on. But like when he's like, "Oh, and what's your name?" His dad, and I was like, "Oh, it's Chris," and then he's like, "Okay, well, my son's name is Chris, and my name is Chris." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's funny, because my name is Chris, and my dad's name is Chris." And I also happen to have the same software you do, and the same type of camera. And then he was like, "Oh,
That's kind of creepy.
So then after we're talking for a little bit, the principal walks up, and he comes over and shakes Chris's dad's hand. And Chris's dad's like, "Hi, my name is Chris," and then this is Chris, and this is Chris. And then the principal was kind of mind blown. He was like, "Oh, so these are both your sons?" And then he was like, "Nope."
You named both of your sons after you? That's nice.
And he's like, "Nope, just this one." Just
that would be kind of weird.
Yeah, that would be kind of like...
If I have more than one son, they're both being named Nilo.
What should I call my sons? That'll be the question
Xavier
of the day.
and Sebastian.
Xavier. Why? Where
And
did those
Chris.
come from?
I don't know.
And Chris?
Yeah.
What should...
Your eldest son must be Chris the
No,
second.
I'm gonna call my eldest son
third.
Skyrim. Yeah, so I mean that was pretty much it. It was just kind of like a little bit of a mind-blowing moment for me.
That is pretty weird.
I mean-
I'm glad you shared that with me.
You're welcome.
Thanks. And all of our
I shared
fans.
that with everybody because they all need to know the story
Yeah.
of how I met what is
Yourself
maybe myself 2
ago.
years in the past, like in an alternate reality where I discovered
Maybe
I
that
liked.
kid thought he was meeting you 2 years in the future.
Yeah, because I mean, when I looked in the mirror afterwards, I was like, okay, well, we kind of have some minor similarities in features. Maybe he's just like, I think what I think happened, honestly, is I met an alternate reality.
That's what I was literally
version
just about to say.
of
Maybe
myself.
He was an alternate reality past version of you. So, today's question of the day is, what is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you?
Have you met an alternate reality version of yourself?
Yeah,
Have you
there's
met a talking cow?
question number 2.
Have you? I mean, what's happened to you guys?
All
Let's
right.
leave that down in the comments because that'll be funny to read. Maybe we'll make a video out of those comments.
So if you guys liked today's video, be sure to leave a like and a favorite, and if you're new to our channel, be sure to click that subscribe button down in our pants and become a Morio today.
Do it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Nilo,
And I'm Chris.
and we will see you all again next time. Adios. Love you. Mwah.
Buy alternate reality versions of me if you're watching. Probably not, but if you are, bye.
Bye, future sons, both named Nilo.